This video is brought to you by the FARMER-KLEIN YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another map first impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at Fichtelberg. This map can be found over at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game mod hub. And as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for all platforms. Now, before we get into the map, this video is brought to you by Farmers Forever. Thank you for being a farm baron. So I have to say, I was really excited to see this map pop up in the mod hub today, because this is one of the very first mod maps that I played on Farm Sim 17. So this map came out early in Farm Sim 17's timeline. I don't know if it was for PC and console or if it was just for PC, but I have to say this conversion is very spot on with respect to the FS17 version. Now let's read a little bit of the description. Welcome to Fichtelberg. All FS19 functions included: mergeable fields, forestry, traffic and pedestrians, a mobile train, cows, pigs, sheep, and chickens, meadows, purchasable fields, field missions, European style, 91 hectares of arable land, 53 fields, 17 meadows, and I have to say, I have to call out the map author a little bit on the last one. He says season's ready. I would say that is kind of a half truth. The map will work with seasons, but it does not have a seasons mask. So basically, we will not have hay or straw rotting, but the map will work with seasons. I didn't see any trees that were weird or anything like that, but I would say that it is not fully seasons prepared, and that's why it did not get the seasons icon on the thumbnail. This map also does not have a custom soil map, so if you play this with precision farming, you will have a generic soil map. So let's go ahead and jump on in. We're going to go ahead and activate the mods that we typically use when we take a look at these maps. We'll pull up the log and watch the map load on in. And there we go. So here we are at our career start point, which is at the starting farm. And anyone that played Farm Sim 17 will probably recognize this farmhouse quite well. This was the farmhouse on Gold Crest Valley. There we go. I know if I delayed long enough, it'd come into my head. Now, this map does not have a sleep trigger, but that's not that big of a deal because there are plenty of placeable sleep triggers around. Let's go ahead and take a look at the map. We'll zoom on out. And if we take a look at our lands area, you'll see we start out by owning the main farm, which is $255,000. Also includes chicken, our silo, and this cow pasture area over here. We have field 16 for $72,700 and field 18, which is $148,200. Just on the other side of the road here at the starting farm, we do have a fairly extensive mountainous forested area that has several viable areas. Field 52 is the largest field on the map at 16.79 acres or 6.12 hectares. Other fields on the map, like field 3 is $38,200, field 29 is $233,000, and field 33 is $249,000. There are plenty of viable areas on the map, including the typical unbuyable land you can buy for a mere $10,800,000. We have several meadows that you can purchase. Those are marked with the W. And then we do have a sheep pen up here, $46,700. We have a pig pen for $75,060. And that should just about do it. Now, there is a biogas plant on the map. It is over here. It is $87,000 also. This map has all of the standard crops available to us here on Farm Sim 19. Now let's go ahead and take a look and see how the generic soil map is mapped out across these fields. So as you can see, the area up here to the north is mostly silty clay and loam with a little bit of sandy loam and loamy sand. Now, as we head down more toward the middle of the map, then we have a good chunk of loamy sand and sandy loam. Field 16, which is one of our fields, is nearly exclusively loamy sand. The biggest field on the map, 52, is a good chunk of sandy loam, loamy sand with a little strip of loam. Take a look here at our prices screen. We have 6 main sell points for the bulk of our crops. We also have, interesting enough, no sell points for eggs. We have chickens on the main farm. No sell points for eggs. No sell points for milk. We have a cow pen on the main farm that we own in new farmer mode. Just pointing all of this out. So we do have a sell point for our cotton and wool, our a sawmill for our wood chips. Then we have the barn, which is going to take our silage, hay, straw, and grass if we do not own the biogas plant. And the barn is also what's going to accept our pellets. Take a look at our starting equipment. We start out with a fairly large list of starting equipment. None of it is leased. It is all owned and well maintained. No animals at the start, and we do have contracts available to us on the map. Let's go ahead and take a look at the starting equipment in a little bit more detail. We have the New Holland T5 100 and then the Fendt Vario 939. So our tractors range in horsepower from 99 to 396 horsepower. We have the RSM 161 harvester. That is then paired up with the Draper Stream 900 cultivator, or not cultivator, but our grain header. We have the AgroLiner TAW 30 trailer, the Lemken Titan 18 plow. Then we have the Vanderstand Carrier XL 825 cultivator, the Pronto 9 DC seeder, the Tempo L16 planter, the Kuhn fertilize spreader. And we have the Samson Flex 23 manure spreader, the Novacat butterfly mowers and front mower. We have the Pottinger Tedder, a Merge Max 902 windrower. So that is some pretty big money right there. We have the Fendt Tigro XR75D forage wagon, the Silo King TMR mixer. Then we have our water trailer and then our front loader arms, bale handler, bucket, and there we go. So you will notice that there are no placeables in the garage. That means that on Farm Manager, start from scratch. The farm is exactly as you see it here, including starting equipment. There are no custom animal areas, nothing in miscellaneous, silos, decoration, or sheds. So everything you see here is exactly how it's going to appear in all play modes. So let's take a little bit of a tour of the farm. So if we head to the west, around the farmhouse, we have our first shed with some of our equipment under it. Do note that this does have a collision. So these poles here kind of holding up the edge of the roof, the eave of the roof, they do have collisions. So they will probably come back to bite you with respect to trying to back things in there. And then over here we have another section where we have some nice sheds to store plenty of machinery here on this map. And I have to say, this map is full of really nice scenic views. We have more of our sheds here at the main yard at the farmhouse. And then across the way over here, we have our farm silo. So we have our fill spout right here. We have our dump station over here for our silo. And a really nice building that we can make use of. These walls do have collisions, so we can tip grain in there, root crops, whatever. And then we have our chicken coop. Right here, this is the base game chicken coop. So we have 400 chickens in this particular coop. Then we have our food trough. And then this is the road that separates the farm from the mountain and all the forestry in the mountain. You can see the road that's going off in the distance there up the incline. We'll see more of the mountain with respect to the drive around and the fly around. Now across the street, we have some more buildings. We have a scale right here. And then another shed with some very large kind of areas to tip to ground. Here is field 16 that we own at the start. And then we have our cow area here. So a nice shed here for equipment, bale storage, whatever. We have our animal dealer trigger right here, 200 cows in this particular coop. Our water trough is inside the cow enclosure right here. And we use the animal pin extension mod, which is what gives us these blue pipes. So it helps us locate where the water trough is and the milk cell trigger, which we're going to see here in a moment. And basically it tells us if this map supports custom placement of these or not. The fact that they are placed here, that means it does not support custom placement, but we can still position those wherever we want. Now we get into the farm or the pasture here by this break in the fence right over here. And while we're over here, we'll go up the road because our silage bunker, or one of our silage bunkers, is right here. It's an open bunker. You'll see we have our chaff trigger right there. Let's make our way back around the road. And then we have our slurry point, our manure point, our food trough here around the front. And then this is also our straw trigger. We have our milk trigger right here, and that is what the Lily milk sales machine is for. That again is also part of the animal pen extension mod and helps us locate where the milk sale point or the milk trigger is. And then we have another silage bunker right there. And that is pretty much the main farm. Let's go ahead and get set up for that fly around. We'll fly around the map, head back to the shop, and drive around and try to hit all of the points of interest, including sell points. So here we get a nice aerial view of the main farm. We have our farmhouse, our silo, and then all of the sheds and all of the various areas of the main farm, including across the street, the cow area, and the main field here beside the farm. Here we have kind of the mountain, the forested mountain right on the other side of our farm area. Field 17 we do not own, but we do also own field 18 right here. Now the main shop is directly in front of us, so we're going to kind of circle around at this point and we'll come back to there. Here we have a pig farm right across the river and just down from the shop. Like I said, this map has a ton of really scenic views. Lots of rivers, lots of bridge crossings. One of our grain sell points is directly below. We do have a rideable train, and there is at least one, if not multiple, train sell points. We have multiple sell points here in town. One to our right, one here to our left. It's a bakery. Our barn sell point, which is inside of that building down there. We have our spinnery directly below. Fuel station. This map also includes a train tunnel, so we'll have to be sure to take that at some point. Let's go ahead and make our way, look across the map. We can see the mountain there to the left, center, our main farm right there now in the center. So over here we have a train transfer station. So this is not a sell point. It is basically a storage silo. And here we have our train tunnel. And we're going to go through that with the train itself. Over here we have one of our train sell points. Lots of elevation changes on this map. Up here now we're coming across the northern edge of the map. We have our animal dealer. And then we have manure sell point, grain sell point. And then this area is original to the map. And I have to say, I was a little disappointed when I saw this, because when I saw this on the PDA, I was like, oh, this would be an awesome equestrian area, because it's kind of set up to do kind of like, oh, I don't know if that's really a horse. It's not really a horse race track, but it's a kind of an area maybe to walk your horse or trot your horse. Then we have a little bit of a kind of a training area here for the horses, but the entire area is fenced in. There's really no way to walk in. You'd have to jump your horse to get into there. And I think really it was an opportunity lost. That could have been a really cool horse area. We have our biogas plant directly below, with one really large 3-sided bunker and then a smaller bunker. And then we have our main farm right over there. And then right down the street, we have our shop. Let's go ahead and touch on down. We have our shop icon right here. And then you can see our vehicles spawn in over here on the other side of the parking lot. So we have a very, very large spawn point for all of our vehicles and such. Our maintenance, repair, customize, and trade trigger is inside of this big building, and there is the trigger itself. Oh, we still have a Farming Simulator 17 banner here at the shop. Look at that. Huh. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and take a look at the PDA and try to figure out which way we want to go. So we have kind of a ring road at this level, and then we've got a road that goes up and around. So yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We'll go up here around and try to hit all of these sell points kind of in a clockwise direction. So to our right, that road will take us over to the main farm. Now these power towers that are inside of the fields, they do have collisions. So those will be things you will need to avoid. Like I said, we've got really interesting elevation changes going on the map here. Here we have our biogas plant. Silo explanation. So we have 2 fermenting areas and a place for fruits and grass, and other place for other fruits like grass. Okay. So we have our scale, our digester. We have our digestate trigger right there. Nice little shed there for any BGA equipment that we might have. Another shed over here to the side for additional equipment. And then we have a massive bunker right here. So you can see where the trigger starts and stops for that. So it starts there and goes all the way over to here. And basically covers that area right there. Then we have a smaller bunker inside of here. This area right there. And then this just has tip collision walls, so we can tip whatever we want in there. Maybe a secondary holding spot for excess grass that we couldn't put into our other bunkers. We could just store it there and wait until some bunkers are empty. And that is the biogas plant. So I'm going to try not to get too lost on this map with respect to all the different elevations. So there's tons of elevation changes, lots of different ways to get around the map. And while I feel a little nostalgic with this map, because this was literally one of the first mod maps that I tried. In fact, I'll give you a little bit of a look into the naive FARMER-KLEIN back in early FS17 when I was just learning how to play the game and learning about the game itself. I didn't realize that the maps on the mod hub were not made by Giants. Yeah, so initially I didn't realize that. So I thought this was a really cool map that Giants made, you know, after the game came out for players. And then only later did I realize that these mod maps were made by just game enthusiasts like you and me. So here we are up the highest elevation of the map. And we'll make our way over here. To again, see we have the something, yeah, horse. So like I said, this would have been a really great area, and maybe you can buy this area, $203,000, and then put a horse area up here. I think this would have been a really cool area to have placed a horse area so that you could have that and then have kind of the riding ring and everything over there. We've got a manure sell point. One of our many grain sell points. We have our animal dealer right here on the ramp. There's some buildings up here we can make use of. We can put bales in there, vehicle storage, whatever. But let's just take a look across the map. Now we're looking south. Like I said, this map is just full of scenic views. This map, she is a looker. And now we will head down the mountain with a switchback or two. Glad we don't have two-way traffic on this particular road. I mean, if you enable fly mode, just fly through the river valleys and the river areas. And finally, we're coming down to a lower level. So one thing, this map will definitely play bigger than it is because of all the various level changes. We're still coming around, trying to get to a point where we can turn off and get to a different road. So we'll just go ahead and make our way up this direction, because the buildings here to our right, here we have one of the biggest fields, or the biggest field is directly on the other side of these two fields right there. It's a big kind of triangular shaped field, 32. Or sorry, 52. And then over here we have some interesting buildings. These are just kind of some additional storage buildings. They are buildings you can buy, $88,000. Kind of think of this as maybe kind of a, not really an industrial park, but just you could buy this and maybe have a contractor yard in here. Oh, interesting. One light way over there. So that's kind of like a root crop storage building. Then we can have like a machinery building up here. And we'll go ahead and you can see where we are at this point is way down here by field 23. So we went up this road after heading to the biogas plant, checked out this area, and then made our way around. This was a bridge, so we couldn't go that way. And made our way around here. This was a bridge again. And then we're finally down to here before we can actually then pick up the main road that's going to take us around at a different level. So we have our bakery sell point right here, and our dump station. have another grain sell point. Right here, we'll need to see, do these dump gates open automatically? It's very interesting. Not really sure why these are not opening up. Now over here we have our bale sell point just inside of this building here. And we'll head over here to our spinnery. We're going to be able to sell our wool and cotton here at the Golden Yarn Spinnery. Then we have a fuel trigger here at this fuel station. So we have Meadow 5 over here to our right. Fairly large grass meadow. And we'll head on over to the grain transfer station. Which is over here to our left. And we can store crop there. We can transfer it from train to truck, truck to trailer. Whatever we want to do. So we have our trailer dump station inside of here. Then we have our train dump and fill station right there. In fact, let's just go ahead and grab the train and make our way through the tunnel. So we've got our tunnel coming up. And we'll go under the hillside here. Then we'll pop out over here at the train only sell point. So here we have a train only sell point where we can dump our crop. And then the train line just continues around this direction right here. So it doesn't go around the entire map. We do have a train for the train here at the sawmill. And then we're going to about come around to where we jumped on the train at. right over here at Maple Field Pool. So now we can head on around. We don't need to bother with that train only sell point. Let's just take a look at the map and figure out where we are and where we need to go. So, all right, yeah, let's go and check out the sawmill. Like I said earlier, lots of bridges, lots of river crossings, river intersections. This was a fun map to look for the 100 nuggets back in FS19. So we're a sawmill over here to our right. We have our log sell point right here. Now, I do believe this may also be our sell point for wood chips. And I say that because over here where we would typically have our wood chip sell point, there isn't a trigger. So there's no trigger over here at what would be the wood chip pile. So I do believe the wood chip sell point is back where the log sell point is. There's also no trigger visibly here at this particular crane location. And we'll just need to see if there is a trigger over here at the train unloading station also or not. So I am not seeing one there either. So I think if you're going to unload logs at the train, you're going to have to bring them down to here. Well, let's make our way up to FARMER-KLEIN. We've already taken a look at the sell points down there in the southeast. So to give you a little frame of reference as to where we are, directly here to our right is our cow area. Directly in front of us is the cow meadow, and then we've got that mountain there, the forested mountain, to our right. I guess we should turn around and get the sheep area. So we do have a water trigger to get water from right here. Then we have a sheep area right here. And we have our sheep buy point. 250 sheep. We have our wool spawn point right there. We have our food trough and our water trough. So our water trough's there. And our food trough is right there. Again, we've got really great views pretty much everywhere on this map. We go to our right, we'll eventually make our way back around to the shop. We're going to head left. So we go to Farmer Seb. Then we have another sell point after that, and then we have the pig farm. So we have our cow area, field 17, our starting field, and our farm right there. Down here we have Farmer Seb. Oh, sorry, we have Farmer Seb up here. So it's just kind of a little turn off. We have our dump station. Then we'll make our way over to the next sell point. The road back there just kind of doubles back on the other side of a ridge. Pick up a couple more fields and a meadow. We have another sell point right here. This just loops around. You might have some issues coming in here with a big trailer, but we have our dump station. A little equipment shed there if you want to kind of store some more equipment. And this will take you down to meadow number 10. Some additional building storage down in here. All kinds of little nooks and crannies for you to explore kind of on your own. And then we'll go this way over to the pig area. And that's where we're going to call it, at the pig area. There you can see the pig farm down the hill. So the pig area, we've got some sheds over here for vehicle storage, equipment storage, bales of straw, whatever. We've got our manure point. We have our straw trigger pretty much along this whole area. We have our food trough. We have our slurry point, we have our pig delivery area, 300 pigs in this particular zone. And then we have our water trough. So let's go ahead and take a look at the animals. See if there's anything special about those. So we've got our pigs. Pretty straightforward on the pigs. Chickens, cows, and sheep. And guys, that is Fichtelberg. Let me know in the comments, what do you all think of this particular map? Like I said, this map has really cool views, pretty much all over the place. Let's go ahead and just make our way across the river. Then our main farm is over here to our left, and while the credits are scrolling, we'll just kind of take a look at all the road network here through this kind of forested mountain area. If you like doing forestry, well then this area just might be right up your alley. And until next time, happy farming.